So adoration has been part of my life ever since I started going to Latino retreats, Spanish retreats. It had a beautiful encounter where it changed my life. It changed me completely. I saw miracles happen, not so much physical miracles, but just spiritual miracles where people were transformed. And so from there on, I continued to just go to adoration always. This whole time that I get to be here with God is just amazing. And so when my husband came here after being in Mexico for 6 years, I was coming here by myself with my son. And I knew how powerful that was. And when my husband and I stopped coming, when my husband got here, I started having babies. There was just too much going on in my life. And my husband and I were having a lot of problems. There was a time where I felt like I was not, maybe I shouldn't be the wife that God has made me to be. So there was a time where we thought about divorce, and that makes me want to cry. Yeah, you're good. I told my husband that something needed to change, and we were going to come to adoration whether he liked it or not. And we were going to come as a family. And so when we started coming to adoration, we would come here. Our kids are all over the place. God put it exactly how it should have been, where I was trying to look for a spot where I could have my entire family here without having to disturb another person who was in here, because I knew with children it was just going to be a lot of messiness, a lot of stop doing that, don't grab that kind of stuff. So when I started coming to adoration with a family, then they told me a couple months later that they were leaving and they were no longer gonna be here in adoration. And so we were super excited about that. We were super excited that we were gonna be by ourselves, and it wasn't something that we did. It was what Jesus did for us. So when we started coming to adoration, my husband and I, we were holding on to each other, watching TV, and I looked up at him after so many months of discernment of should we be together, should we not. I looked at him and I said, Mario, have you noticed that we have not fought? Have we noticed that we're not angry at each other all the time? And I looked at him and I said, what has changed? And that's when he looked at me, he said, adoration. Since we started going to adoration, it was that change. And honestly, since then, we have not fought the same way that we have before coming to adoration together as a family. It has been such a great blessing. But even with our children, when they're in here with us, I get so embarrassed when I have people in here and they're watching my kids running around like crazy or whatever they're doing. But we sit here, and in the first beginning of our hour, I put on some music, some praising music. We're jumping in here. We're alabando a Dios. We're just being here present with God, singing with Him. I want them to understand that God is life, God is love, God is joy in it. And then we sit down and we pray. We pray the rosary. We grab the Bible. Or we just simply sit, and my son, Emmanuel, asks me questions. Mom, why do we believe that that piece of bread is God? Why? Who is Jesus? Who is Mary? And so when I was gonna get interviewed for this, I asked my son, what is adoration for you? And he told me, Mom, adoration for me is being able to sing with Him and being in the presence of Him, being in the presence with Jesus. So adoration to me is like honestly being in heaven. The Catechism tells us that heaven is being in it's being in the state of supreme indefinite happiness. And that's exactly what I get here in that 1 hour with Jesus, is being in that that happiness, that joy. And of course, there are times, because I am still human and I still am on earth, where I come in here angry, I come in here sad, I come in here emotional, angry at God because of something that has happened. But He reassures me that He is here present with me, and that He will, He is that encounter with God, knowing that He is right here with me. And how amazing it is that I get to encounter that little happiness, or that happiness with God for 1 hour here on earth. So I think that the idea that I spoke about my family being here, it's not about me. I've taken Adoration as a family thing, because it has transformed my marriage. It has transformed my family, has transformed me as a mother. And it's just that if we don't come to Adoration, we feel it as a family. We feel that need to be here present with Him. Especially me, because I, and this is personal, but I get angry all the time. And when I'm here in front of God, we forget about that anger. Sometimes I am angry, but we forget about that anger and we come back together with each other when we come to Adoration. So it's not about me anymore, it's about my family. I want them to learn, I want them to feel that encounter with God from babies on. That's what I want them to do. It's more than just that encounter, that happiness that you have coming to here. You get that encounter with Jesus. But if you don't believe that Jesus is present right here with us, if you're one of those that don't believe that piece of bread is God, I promise you, if you come sit here 1 hour with God, even if you just do not believe, blessings will be poured upon you. Blessings that you did not know you even needed will be poured upon you, and you will have that encounter with God.